good evening. I'm Martin and this is my sailing yacht Jambo, a Bavaria 34. Yeah, we are sailing to Portugal. I would like to be in Porto within the next 2.5 weeks to meet my partner Anke there, and then we both want to cruise down to Lisbon. I started yesterday in the Netherlands after a long preparation period, so at the end there was some rig work to do, which could be completed yesterday in the morning. Not much wind at the moment, 2 before, and the currents are against us as well, so I don't think we make great speed over ground, but let's check it on the map. We are at the English coast. Ramsgate is roughly 20-25 miles that direction. We're not going to stop there, we want to cruise through the next night as well. I started yesterday in Stavoren in the Netherlands. But now let's have a look on the chart and let's see how we have been cruising so far. So yesterday at lunchtime I departed here in Vans near Stavoren. Then I went to the fuel station and filled up the diesel. Then I sailed through the IJsselmeer, locked through to the North Sea at Den Oever, and then I could sail to Den Helder. Initially it was planned to have the first stop at Den Helder, but after all the days in the marina, I decided to carry on and sail to the North Sea. And then I sailed through the first night. I kept well clear of IJmuiden here, so not getting in touch with the pilots there, and the same at Rotterdam, so I kept well clear as well. And then the plan was going down to Blankenberge, but I had a pretty good night and I slept for 4.5 hours and I felt top fit in the morning, so I decided to sail through the next night as well. And now we are here, so here's Ramsgate, so the currents even drift us slightly to the north. Oh, it's very heavy here, so let's have a look on this one here. So you can see it's almost 2.8 knots, but fortunately in both directions, so I will benefit from that later on. So then I haven't decided where I will stop then. The plan could be stopping in Cherbourg and then filling up the diesel again, and then from there it is another 550 miles to northern Spain, so that's roughly 5.5 days, but first of all let's get out of here with the high currents. Yeah, great evening here on sea. I will cook something for dinner later on, and then let's see how the night goes. It is almost 11:30. Yeah, it's running well. We are traveling with a little bit more than 9 knots above the ground. That's pretty good. So the currents are with us. So we're getting closer to the Strait of Dover. We need to be very cautious there because of all the ferries crossing between Dover and Calais. But we will see. I think I take the opportunity to have a shower, and then I go to bed and manage the rest out of the bed. Great. I don't want to miss my shower on board. Now the night is beginning for me as well, and I'm going to bed, but only in 30 minutes interval, so I can't sleep through, and I will show you how it goes. First of all, with my AIS transponder I have the possibility to engage a CPA alarm, closest point of approach. So what I put in here is that if another ship with an AIS signal is coming closer than 1,000 meters, I get a warning 15 minutes prior to that. And then there's a buzzer located here, and that's pretty loud. And I keep this one open as well. So actually the rest I manage out of my cabin here. So we have the chart here. So at the moment still good speed. Only a change course in 2.2 nautical miles. And then here I can connect this one with the chart plotter, so I get all the information which I have on the chart plotter as well. So I can have a look on the radar. Let's just switch it on. There's not much to see at the moment. Let's move a little bit out. Yeah, only a few ships. So I'll go back into 8 nautical miles later. So switch it off, stand by. Yeah, I can check the wind plot. Don't think it's much at the moment. Yeah, 8 knots, 270 degrees. I have the mainsail out. So still traveling with 6.5 knots through the water and over ground 8.7, course 202. Well, let's go back to the chart. Okay, so if I need to change course, I can do that with this remote control, which is quite convenient. So this one is going to port side, this one is green arrow for starboard. And also radio communication as well. Yeah, that's how I manage it. So I get up every half an hour. So I set my alarm clock here. Every half an hour, and then I check everything. I also can check all the AIS signals here on the iPad as well. So we click on this one. Let's see what he does. And then we get all the information here. So bearing 210 degrees, current distance 13.8 nautical miles, CPA closest point of approach 12.3. So we are safe, and time to CPA is 18 minutes. Let's check another one a little bit closer. Let's use this one here. So also bearing distance, that ship is coming a little bit closer, 2.65, and that will happen in 35 minutes. So it's traveling with 11.4, almost 11.4. Yeah, radio works. And then course over ground 46 degrees. Yeah, so that's pretty good. But what I will do is I'm switching off all those signals which are safe, because I only would like to see those ships which are on collision course. So I disable the safe ones, and now everything is clear. But what I can expect is that ferries are crossing the Strait of Dover between Calais and Dover, or some of the other ports, and then I'm not confused with all the other signals, and if there's any ferry which is in conflict with my course, that will be shown. What I also do is I open this window, sticking out my head, and have a look around. So that's the way I'm doing it, and it has been working pretty well so far. So, sleeping time. Good night. beautiful morning actually. So first of all, a coffee. Yeah, coffee is running. We got rid of our coffee machine with the pets because of all the rubbish, and we changed to this machine. There's nothing better than a freshly milled and brewed coffee in the morning. Great, beautiful morning. Yeah, the night was not that good. Soon I went down for a sleep in my cabin. The sea became very rough, so the current changed, and we're against that. I think that was the reason. And I think it's not unusual for Dover that you get a rough sea with short and steep waves. So the ship went up and down, and I was a flying skipper in my cabin, so I had to change to the middle of the ship. Yeah, at the moment we are south of Dungeness. We just passed it. The currents are with us, so but I reduced the speed slightly because we want to bake the bread. So hope that works. So I haven't still not decided where the next stop will be. Cherbourg definitely is an option, but let's see. The wind at the moment west, so we need to get out of the traffic separation zone here, and then I think we can set the sails. Oh, that's great, isn't it? The first piece is always the best. The sea is a bit rough, but great breakfast.
This is Starlight Boat over touchdown. Channel near touchdown line.
I think we drive for another hour this way, and then we're at the right point where I think we can cross the traffic separation zone, and then we put up the sails. Perfect sailing, good weather, good sailing conditions. We're sailing upwind, 5/4, but that's the only good news. Unfortunately, our motor of the Autopilot has a breakdown, so I was doing some fault finding the whole afternoon. It actually happened in the traffic separation zone near Eastbourne, so I managed to get through that in a reasonable manner. We are sailing now upwind and just set the rudder in a fixed position, and that works quite well if you have the right trim in the sails. Our destination now is Fécamp, and tomorrow is Friday, so I hope that I can fetch some people helping me getting a new motor for the Autopilot. It's not that old. I bought it 1 year ago, so I could expect that this lasts a bit longer, but I mean, those things happen. Especially when you're on long cruises to distant shores, you need to be prepared for those situations. You cannot carry all the spare parts with you, which can break down, but let's see how it goes. 30 miles to Fécamp. There's Fécamp ahead. the harbor entrance. It's a bit tricky here. Good. So now to find the berth. Bonsoir from Fécamp. 306 nautical miles we have done from Stavoren here to Fécamp. We sailed through 2 nights, not too bad, so I caught a reasonable amount of sleep. Then we went through the Strait of Dover, quite tricky. So first of all, we had a lot of currents running with us, so we traveled with 9 knots above ground, and then afterwards the sea was very rough, so that was a very bad night. And then unfortunately we had a breakdown of the motor for the Autopilot, so I need to see how I get that fixed as soon as possible. Already sent the first message to see what can be done. Yeah, let's see if I have a look tomorrow on Fécamp. I visited the city a couple of years ago. Very nice restaurants, probably have a bite somewhere. I will see, but now the well-deserved beer after 306 miles. I think that's really well-deserved. Cheers! Bonjour and good afternoon. Yeah, Fécamp. I haven't expected that. It was not my plan to stop here, but with the breakdown of the Autopilot, it was a good option to sail down here with the fixed helm. Yeah, now we need a new Autopilot motor. It's a Luma motor, and I already called a local dealer in Le Havre. He was very supportive, very friendly. He took the model number, and then he called me back within 15 minutes and told me there's no motor in France and it takes 5 weeks to get a new one. That was not the best news because I cannot wait 5 weeks. But at the same time I already called Tobias and asked him to check, and he found one motor in Germany, and get it delivered on Monday. I told him either Fécamp or Roscoff, and he told me you can have it both places, either Roscoff and Fécamp, and you need to tell me now. And then I decided quickly to stay in Fécamp for 3 days instead of sailing without the Autopilot to Roscoff. I think that was a good choice. Yeah, I'm already on my way to the promenade. There are a few little restaurants, and I will have a little bite there, and then I will enjoy my stay in Fécamp. Yeah, vive la France, you have to enjoy the French living style. Great food here. I'm actually in the same restaurant as I've been a couple of years ago. So mussels à la Roquefort. So I will enjoy it. Cheers! I took out the push bike and now we have a little ride through the city. Very nice kites are flying here. A very nice view at Fécamp. I've driven a few miles towards west and now stop here at the cliffs. Very nice scenery, very nice view at the sea. Yeah, there outside I could be as well if I didn't have the breakdown with the Autopilot. Yeah, but I hope in a couple of days we carry on and cruise towards Spain. Yeah, very steep here. I could have been sitting in a nice cafe and have a cold drink, but anyway. Yeah, we know it's a monastery and we go inside and have a look. We're now in the museum and we are in the Abbot's Hall. Quite nice here. And here's a liquor collection which the monastery is famous for as well. This is a Gothic hole. Now we move on to the distillery cellars. Now the best, the liqueur itself. Oh, very good, excellent. Of course we take a bottle. And if I meet some of you on my cruises, of course we have one of those. The day has gone by very fast. It was very nice here in Fécamp, which is a little town here at the coast. I think about 20,000 inhabitants. A little bit tourism and fishers are here as well. Yeah. I'm very glad that I could buy this liquor at the monastery. It was an exciting visit there, but now we have the well-deserved biker beer. Cheers! Good morning, tomorrow is the last day, so I will start taking out the old Autopilot motor, and I'm in good hope that the new one and the right one is going to arrive tomorrow. So first of all we have to remove the helm and this little cover here, and then we have access to the screws which are holding the Autopilot. It's located there, and I've already started removing the washers. It's always good to have the right tool with you. Now all washers are removed and now I can take it out from down there. So it's sitting down here. So the job is done. It was almost 30 minutes, but only because I know exactly how to do it. This has not been changed with the new navigation system, because we could use the existing motor, but I had to replace this one year ago because the old one had a breakdown, and this new one now as well. So I will send this one back under warranty and hope for a replacement. And the new one will arrive tomorrow. And then I will take the replaced motor under warranty. I will keep it as a spare motor on board. The worst case scenario happened yesterday, despite of the good weather. So the parcel is lost. And I don't have the spare part now. Yeah, I take a rental car, drive to Germany and get another one. So I already spoke with Tobias Lepper from Lepper Marine, and he will organize it. So let's see how it goes. So here's the spare parts kit, which I collected from Germany yesterday. I took a rental car. So now we get it installed. Now carry on up here and put the washers on. Now we assemble the rest and then we tie it all up.